If two people are truly meant to meet in a deep way, one clear pattern keeps showing up. Most people think destiny should feel easy, like instant joy, like everything clicks, problems fade, and love arrives with no friction. But real destined love rarely comes like that. It often starts by shaking your life. It stirs discomfort. It breaks your old story of who you are. And before any strong union can hold, life pushes you to grow on your own first. That's the test, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Keep listening, because this is where people misunderstand everything and miss the point. Source. The beginning usually isn't calm. It's recognition, quiet, strange, and hard to explain. You meet them, and something inside you reacts before your mind can label it. It can feel exciting, but also unsettling, not because they are wrong, but because they reflect you back to yourself. They show you the parts you hide, the parts you avoid, the fears you push down. Many confuse love with comfort and predictability, but what's meant to change you will not always feel soft at first. It can hit like a storm. It can pull the mask off, and that is exactly why it feels so intense. Don't click away. This next part is the part that answers the "why did we separate?" question. Source. One of the strangest things about these connections is that they often don't stay together in the beginning. Life splits them up, timing breaks, distance appears, misunderstandings rise, and it feels unfair. But the separation is often the point. It happens because wounds are still open. One person may fear being seen, the other may struggle with worth. Love may be offered from fear, not from fullness. Even with good intentions, two unfinished people can hurt each other. So life steps in and says, "Not yet." It forces growth, self-discovery, and maturity. Every hard moment becomes training. Every doubt becomes a mirror. And slowly you start learning how to love without gripping, without begging, without losing yourself. Source. When the pull apart happens, the pain feels different from normal heartbreak. It's not only sadness, it's disorientation. You don't just miss them. You feel like a piece of you went missing too. Because this kind of bond isn't only about romance or attention. It connects to your evolution. It touches your fear of abandonment, your hunger for validation, the ways you overgive without limits, the ways you avoid emotional responsibility. It exposes where you had no boundaries, where you tried to earn love, where you kept shrinking yourself to keep someone close. And it feels brutal, but it's not random. It's a wake-up call. It pushes you into honesty with yourself, the kind you can't fake. Stay with me, because what happens next is the part people never notice while it's happening. Source. Even in silence, even with no contact, something shifts inside you. You change without announcing it. You grow quietly. You become more aware, more selective, more emotionally real. What you used to tolerate starts to feel wrong. People you used to chase stop looking attractive. Your cravings move away from surface-level attention and toward depth, toward truth, toward peace. And the wild part is, you may not even connect this change to them at first, but it often begins the moment they entered your life. A real connection like this doesn't just create obsession. It creates reflection. It creates insight. It leaves fingerprints in your quiet moments, during late-night thinking, emotional breakthroughs, and those still times when you suddenly understand yourself better than before. Source. Many try to replace a bond like this. They date other people. They stay busy. They act fine. But something still feels missing, not because the new person is bad, but because the new person doesn't trigger the same inner work. This kind of connection works on a different level. It's not about convenience. It's about growth. It pushes both people toward wholeness. It wakes up lessons that normal relationships never reach. That's why you can't rush it or copy it. Its purpose is deeper than companionship. While you're apart, life keeps shaping both sides. One learns self-respect, the other learns accountability. One learns to stop chasing what cannot be forced. The other learns to stop running from what must be faced. And neither person sees the full picture yet, because you're not supposed to. Source. Before any real reunion can happen, illusions have to die. Beliefs like, love should never be hard, or if they cared, they would never leave, get stripped away. Ideas like, I must earn love, or I need someone to complete me, get exposed as traps. And yes, the removal hurts. It's slow. It's honest. Every tear and every ache is part of the clearing, because real love cannot be built on fear, need, or dependency. Real love is built on awareness, choice, and growth. The shift is quiet but powerful. One day you stop chasing. You stop needing them to feel okay. You stop trying to force a future. You stand on your own feet again. And that's when life starts moving the pieces differently. Remember this line, because it changes everything. Love becomes a desire, not a survival tool. Source. When paths cross again, if they do, the energy is different. Less anxiety, less ego, less confusion. Not perfect, but conscious. The games fade. The uncertainty fades. What remains is a clearer recognition, stronger than before. And here's a truth most people avoid. Not every powerful connection is meant to last forever. Some are meant to break old patterns, to awaken self-love, to teach resilience, to redirect your life toward something healthier. Their purpose may not be permanence. Their purpose may be transformation. Life can feel cruel before it feels kind, because it chooses your potential over your comfort. It will break your heart before it lets you break your spirit. It will remove people before it lets you lose yourself completely. Source. So here is the one thing that keeps happening when two people are truly meant to affect each other deeply. They are forced to grow separately. Shadows get confronted. Hearts get reshaped. False ideas about love get burned down. And only after that does life allow either reunion or redirection. Either way, nobody stays the same. If you're thinking of someone right now, let this land. If it's meant, it returns with peace, not constant panic. If it's real, it will never demand that you betray yourself to keep it. It will ask you to rise. And if it doesn't return, that can still be a gift, because the growth it triggered becomes yours forever. Hold on to this. Life doesn't waste experiences. It uses them to prepare you, strengthen you, and make you ready for the highest kind of love you can actually hold. Source. If two people are truly meant to find each other, there is one undeniable pattern that always shows up. Always. Most people grow up thinking that destiny is easy. They believe it looks like instant happiness, like a story where two people meet and everything just falls perfectly into place. They imagine life becoming lighter, problems disappearing, and love arriving without any fight at all. But real destiny never comes wrapped in a neat, comfortable package. True destiny begins with disruption, with chaos, with challenges that feel almost impossible to survive. The universe does not softly hand you love. It pushes you first. It breaks your illusions, reshapes who you are, and demands that you grow on your own before any real union can ever take form. This is the one thing that always happens, and most people miss it completely because they are looking for peace when destiny sends a storm. Destined love does not begin with comfort or stillness. It begins with recognition, an undeniable, often deeply confusing awareness that something is different about this person. The first sign that someone is meant for you is not calm reassurance. It is a quiet, unsettling recognition that cuts through everything. You meet them, and something inside you reacts before your mind can even begin to understand why. It is a feeling that sees you fully and disturbs you deeply, because destiny often shakes the very ground your inner world is built on. When you encounter someone who is truly meant for you, it is almost never peaceful at the start. You may not feel safe. Certainty may feel far away. But that very discomfort is exactly what destiny looks like. It is unsettling not because the other person is wrong for you, but because they reflect back the parts of you that you have hidden, avoided, or refused to face. These encounters force you to confront your fears, your insecurities, and the deep patterns that have kept you from real and honest connection. Most people mistake love for calm and predictability. They wait for something that feels easy. Yet destiny often arrives like a storm, completely disarming you and leaving you shaken, reminding you that growth always comes before union. And here is what nobody tells you. That storm is not a warning sign. That storm is the invitation. Stay with this because it gets even deeper. One of the most confusing things about destined relationships is why they almost never stay together at the beginning. Life separates them every single time, not out of cruelty, but out of absolute necessity. That separation is purposeful. It happens because one or both people are still carrying wounds that have not healed. One may fear being vulnerable. Another may be quietly struggling with their own sense of worth. Sometimes love is offered from a place of fear instead of fullness. Even with the best intentions, unfinished people hurt each other. The universe steps in during these moments with a single, clear message. Not yet. It waits for growth. It waits for self-discovery. It waits for the kind of maturity that can actually hold the weight of real love. Destined love is patient. It is persistent. And it is deeply transformative. It demands that you face yourself completely, without shortcuts, without distractions. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every single moment of doubt is part of the preparation. The universe pulls you apart to show you what you actually need, to teach you how to love without expectation, without clinging, without fear. When the time is truly right, the pieces will come together, but only after you have been reshaped into the person who can actually receive that kind of love and sustain it. This is destiny's quiet secret. It molds you, it challenges you, it strengthens you before it ever rewards you. It makes sure the union is lasting and meaningful, not something that burns out after a few months. True destiny is never about immediate gratification. It is a process, a real journey of recognition, disruption, separation, and deep self-realization. When you feel unsettled by someone, when life pulls you away from them, do not panic. Do not run. That feeling is not a sign that something went wrong. That feeling is a sign that destiny is actively working. It is preparing you for a love that is worth the wait, a love that transforms you rather than simply comforts you. Hold on, stay open, trust what is happening beneath the surface, because when two souls are genuinely meant to be together, the universe will find a way to bring them back to each other, stronger, wiser, and completely ready for a love that actually lasts. You would ruin everything if you rushed it. You would ruin it if you forced it before both of you were ready. The pain of separation is not a mistake. It is part of the design itself. When people who are destined for each other are pulled apart, the suffering feels completely different from ordinary heartbreak. It is not just sadness or longing. It is disorientation. You do not just miss them. You feel as if a piece of yourself has gone missing. That is because destined connections are not about comfort or ego. They are woven into your growth, your personal evolution, and the parts of yourself you have not yet faced. Losing them forces you to confront your fears, your insecurities, your unhealed wounds, and the habits that have been keeping you from becoming whole. The pain touches every single corner of your life. It forces you to face your fear of being left behind, your constant hunger for validation, and all the ways you have sacrificed yourself for love or attention. It shows you where you have avoided emotional responsibility, where you have given too freely without any boundaries to protect yourself. This is not punishment. This is a calling. The universe uses this pain to wake you up, to push you into self-awareness, to make you confront the very patterns that have been quietly blocking you from deeper and more honest connection. Destined love is not gentle, it is transformative, even when it speaks in silence, even when you cannot see any of it yet. And here is the strange part that most people never notice. Even after separation, even when there is no contact at all, even when every logical part of your mind is screaming at you to move on, something inside you shifts. You change. You grow. You become more aware, more selective, more emotionally honest. The things you used to accept without question suddenly feel completely wrong. The people you used to chase no longer hold any power over you. Your cravings shift from needing surface-level attention to craving something real. Depth, substance, authenticity, and you rarely connect this transformation directly back to them, yet it all began the moment they entered your life. Destined connections do not create obsession, they create reflection, they create insight. They create genuine self-growth that stays with you long after the person is gone. Destined love leaves its mark in the quiet spaces of your life. You think of them not out of loneliness or desperate longing, but because your soul recognizes unfinished lessons and inner growth that only they could set in motion. You notice them during moments of deep self-reflection, during emotional breakthroughs, during quiet nights when everything around you feels still and honest. This is not attachment. This is integration. The slow, profound weaving of their influence into your personal evolution. You learn what you never knew you needed to learn, and slowly, without any conscious effort, your life begins to shift in ways that prepare you for a higher level of love and connection than you have ever known before. And yet, nobody can truly replace a destined connection. People try. They date others. They distract themselves. They pretend they have completely moved on. But something always feels like it is missing. Not because the new person is not good enough, but because they do not trigger the same kind of growth. Destined love operates on an entirely different level. It is not about chemistry or convenience. It is about evolution, about pushing both people toward wholeness, about awakening lessons that ordinary relationships simply cannot reach. You cannot rush it, you cannot replicate it, you cannot replace it. Because its purpose is far deeper than simple companionship. It exists to challenge, teach, and completely transform both souls involved. While the two are separated, destiny works quietly, but with enormous power on both individuals at the same time. One learns to set boundaries, the other learns accountability. One learns genuine self-respect, the other learns emotional courage. One learns to stop chasing what cannot be forced, the other learns to stop running from what must be faced. And neither person sees the full picture yet. That is completely intentional. The universe holds back the complete view until each soul has grown enough to actually handle the love that is waiting for them. This process is careful, deliberate, and absolutely necessary. It ensures that when these two paths come together again, the connection is no longer a fleeting moment. It is a lasting, transformative love built on the foundation of two fully evolved individuals. The universe removes illusions first. Before destined people can ever reunite, every delusion and every false belief about love must be completely stripped away. Beliefs like love should never be difficult, or if someone truly cared, they would never leave. Thoughts like, I must earn love, or I need someone else to make me feel complete, only destroy the possibility of real and authentic connection. Destiny takes these illusions apart piece by piece, but it does so painfully, deliberately, and honestly. Every tear, every moment of longing, every single ache in your chest is part of that process. This stripping away is essential because real love is not built on need or fear. It is built on awareness, conscious choice, and genuine growth. Destined love is not about needing someone just to survive each day. It is about choosing them freely when you are already complete within yourself. The shift happens quietly. At some point, you simply stop needing them. You stop chasing love out of fear or emptiness. And that is exactly when destiny begins to move again. When both people can stand fully on their own. When love becomes a conscious desire rather than a survival tool, alignment starts to happen. Love in this form is no longer frantic, desperate, or dependent. It becomes a calm and intentional force that draws the right people together naturally. This is when the universe allows the paths of two souls to meet once more, prepared, ready, open for real union. When destined people come back together, the experience is profoundly different from anything they shared before. There is less anxiety, less fear, less ego getting in the way. The connection feels calmer, deeper, and far clearer than it ever did. Not perfect, but conscious. The games, the manipulation, and the endless uncertainty that once clouded everything are simply gone. What remains is a recognition that is stronger and more grounded than anything they felt in the beginning. And even if they never physically returned to each other, the connection was still completely real. Not every destined relationship is meant to last a lifetime. Some are meant to break generational patterns that have been carried for decades. Some are meant to awaken genuine self-love. Some are meant to teach emotional strength or completely redirect the entire path of your life. Their purpose is not permanence. Their purpose is transformation. Destiny often feels cruel before it ever feels kind, because it puts your potential above your comfort every single time. It will break your heart before it lets you lose your entire soul to blind attachment. It will remove people from your life before it allows you to completely lose yourself in them. The lessons may feel brutal in the moment, but over time, with real clarity, you begin to understand why every single thing happened the way it did. The one constant truth is this: when two people are truly destined to be together, they are forced to grow separately first. Illusions are stripped away completely. Shadows are confronted honestly. Hearts are reshaped into stronger, healthier, wiser versions of themselves. Only after that entire process does destiny allow either reunion or redirection. But either way, no one comes out of it unchanged, not even a little. If you are reading this right now and thinking of someone specific, let these words sink all the way in. If it is truly meant, it will return with peace and not anxiety. If it is genuinely destined, it will never ask you to betray who you are. It will only ever ask you to grow. And if it does not return, that too is a gift, a guide toward the person you were always meant to become. Every separation, every moment of confusion, every painful lesson is a sacred part of the journey. Destiny does not waste a single experience. It prepares you, it molds you, it elevates you, making sure that when love does arrive, or when it redirects your path entirely, you are fully ready to meet it with an open and evolved heart. Destined connections are among life's most profound and rarely understood mysteries. They almost never follow the path anyone expects. When two people are truly meant to be, the universe does not rush them toward comfort or certainty. Instead, it challenges them, pulls them apart, and confronts them directly with the parts of themselves they have been avoiding for years. The pain